Hey everyone, Jordan here from Cinelinks.com. I'm back today with more Playing with My Toys action. Today I have yet another LEGO review and build for you guys. This time around, LEGO was kind enough to send me their all-new Jaws release. Now this one is something I've been waiting for a long time, and I'm so glad that they sent it my way, and I can't wait to put this one together. So let's go ahead and open this up, start the build, and we'll talk more about it as we go. I love Jaws. Everyone knows about my affection for Star Wars and, my huge collection for that. But the truth is, Jaws remains my #1 film of all time. I fell in love with it as a kid. It sparked my love of film and monster movies overall, and it's just something I continue to enjoy to this day. As such, I was over the moon when LEGO announced they were finally giving us an official set to enjoy. Now this set comes in just under 1,500 pieces, 1,497 if you want to be specific. So it's certainly not the largest set they've released, comes in more around the mid-range, but that doesn't mean it isn't packed to the gills with details. On top of the iconic Orca ship and Bruce the Shark, you get 3 minifigures. You got Quint, Chief Brody, and Hooper. Now, they aren't the most dynamic minifigures we've gotten over the years, but something about them is just ridiculously neat. I mean, they're so spot on and manage to still feel completely unique to this set. Now, the build itself is spread out over 13 individual bags and has some really cool elements to it. On top of featuring some LEGO bricks that are really unique to this set, it has some interesting ways of hiding the different joints of the build to make certain sections of it feel and look seamless. And now I was really impressed with how the shark came together, and it utilizes all these different pink and red bricks on the inside of it that kind of hammers home the fact that this is supposed to be a living creature. Even though that you aren't able to see all those different bricks all the time, you can see a little bit in the mouth and stuff. Stuff like that, those tiny details, goes a long way to show the care and attention that the LEGO designers put into all these sets. Not to mention, you get to build all the little sharp teeth, which is just kind of cool, and does such a great job of making the shark, even in brick form, feel alive. The Orca, the boat itself, is also incredibly swanky and probably features the most minute details of the whole build. Now this is both good and bad. Good because it looks insanely cool and neat to see all the little Easter eggs they put in there, like you have the chum bucket or even the radio that Quint ends up destroying in the film at one point. It's also awesome to see how the mast comes together and how it uses these actual ropes for rigging. But the problem, however, is that it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. It's not so much that the size of the pieces, though there are plenty of incredibly small pieces in this build, is more that you don't have room to place things after a certain point. Like, especially if you have big hands, finding room to maneuver and place these things is really tough. It requires, some parts of it require a bit of finesse, and it's tough to do when you're fighting for space and don't have leverage to put these pieces together like you want. More so, the build makes some really odd choices about when to put certain things on. Like, for some reason, it decides to have you put pieces on the boat underneath the whole boat, when you've already built the main mast in the rigging. So that means you have to flip over the whole thing, hold it in one hand so you don't mess up the mast and have it come apart, and then put on the pieces. And good luck with having all those ropes stay in place. They do not want to stay in place. Those are a pain in the butt. But there are a few odd decisions like that had me scratching my head throughout this whole build. I mean, it's not a deal breaker by any means, but it definitely made some of the build take longer than I thought it should. And some parts of the boat or the build itself feel a little looser and not as secure as I would want it to. Also, due to that level of complexity, it's a little tougher to work on this build with someone else, or even if you're doing it with your kids and stuff. I mean, I know it's meant for adults anyway, but it's always fun when you can build these sets with other people and everyone can join in. But other than that, I mean, it's really fun build, and I've had a lot of fun putting this together. All in all, this is just a ridiculously good looking set. I love it so much. And what I think is super cool is the fact that you have a couple different display options. Now, if you've looked at the packaging when it was initially announced, you can tell that you have two different options. One, you can have it on the display stand like I have on here, but you can also have the shark and boat separate on different display pieces. Best of all is that going back and forth between the two display options is really easy and simple. See, you have you built this little stand for the shark. And the two pieces actually come together, and there's one little hook, that hook right there. And that's the only thing that actually connects these two pieces together. That and, of course, gravity. And when you do that, it feels really solid and it's not going to fall apart on you. And it looks really nice. But again, because it's just that one hook holding it together, it's really easy to kind of pop it off without worrying about breaking off pieces and stuff like that. And then it can easily slide back onto the display stand. As a collector, I love having the option to change up displays when I want to. And when this was first announced and I saw how it was put together, I was really concerned that it would be difficult to make the choice between the two options, but it's so easy. It's really nice, and it's an impressive how they managed to make the build that way to where it's all still solid without, compromising on that display options. Personally, I love how it looks on the whole full display, mostly because I love how they've captured the look of the waves on the stand itself and just how it recreates that scene. And it looks really good on the shelf. And aside from some of those minor issues that I mentioned earlier, this is just an incredible set, and it looks so cool when it's all together. Definitely something that longtime fans and just Lego enthusiasts in general will definitely get a kick out of. This Lego Jaws set is available right now for $150 directly from Lego stores or online. I will be sure to have some links down in the description for you guys below. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's build. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. Until next time, keep it tuned here to Cinelinx.com for all your movie, gaming, and geek-related news.